Hi everyone, welcome to my North Knit Corner. My name is Anne and I come to you from the south of Norway. Here I live with my husband and our 3 boys, and this is my little corner of the internet where I talk about knitting every other week. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. I hope you will enjoy the content, enjoy the time together with me today. And welcome back if you have been here before. I appreciate all of you and I'm so thankful that you are here. Grab your knitting, your crochet, cup of coffee maybe, and we'll talk about some knitting, some FOs, some whips. Yeah, I have timestamps on this episode, so it's easy for you to skip to the parts you want to see. And I also have information about everything I talk about in the description box below this episode. There it is links to my Ravelry projects, and you can find information about where you can find me on social media and things like that. So I hope that is helpful for you. Okay, grab your knitting, your crochet, your coffee, your tea, and let's get started with the finished project. My first FO today is also what I'm wearing, and it's the Celeste Sweater by Petite Knit. I have knitted this in size small on needles 3.5, 4 and 4.5 millimeters, US 4, 5, nope, US 4, 6 and 7. I never learned those US sizes. It doesn't really make sense to me. I'm sorry, but I try. But I, yes, knitted size small. I've used Sandnes Pergynt and also 1 ball of Sandnes Smart. The colorways I will write on the screen because I have 5 different colors, but my main color is Marzipan 2321, I believe, and the others I will have on the screen. I used Italian cast on. Is that, yeah, cast on. And also there is double knitting, which I found really nice. I think it creates a really nice edge on the collar and also on the hem. And on the, of course, there's a cast on here, but it's bind off on the hem and on the sleeves, which also is double knitting and an Italian bind off. So I'm very happy with how that looks, and I should do that more. Absolutely. It takes a lot of time, especially on the hem, but it is worth it. Absolutely. It looks really good. And it's very stretchy with the double knitting. Okay, I had so much fun knitting this color work. It went by so fast, too fast. And I absolutely want to make more of the Celeste sweaters because I had so much fun with it, and I think it will look great in lots of different colors. So maybe I have to knit one for my husband. We'll see. Maybe my oldest boy will have one. That would be fun. We'll see. But after the color work, I struggled a lot. It should be really easy because it's all stockinette, one color. But if you were here last time, you know that my gauge changed during my knitting. So I had a tent. The body of my sweater looked like this. It was not nice at all. and very annoying because I don't know how to fix it. So I ripped it back, knitted on the same needle again, which is a 4mm needles. The 4.5 I used for the color work, by the way, because I knit the color work more tight, so I need to go up half a size on the needles to account for the fact that I knit tightly on the color work. But on the stockinette part, I knit too loose. So, but I couldn't change the needle size because it made a really visible line when I changed to a smaller needle. So I had to keep going on 4mm. And then I figured, okay, I will just decrease a few stitches in the sides every now and then. So I think every 10th round I decreased, and it looks okay now, I think. It's not a 10th anymore, at least. Yeah, I think I will put up a video for you here because it's not so easy to show you. It makes it like a bit tighter in the body down here with the waist. So it is a bit like poofy, but I don't mind. It looks much better than it did when it was very loose. Maybe I could have omitted the decreases and just knitted straight and it would look okay the second time I knitted the body, but I didn't take the chance. So I'm happy I did the decreases because at least now it fits okay. So I am mostly happy with this. I had so much fun knitting the color work, so for me it's worth it just because of that. But I am all in all happy with how it turned out. Okay, the next one I have finished since last time is The Shift by Andrea Mowry. That was also a lot of fun to knit because I have been knitting with this beautiful hand-spun yarn, which is from Brie in Doodlebug Yarn Co. I will link her website down below. She just opened a website. Yeah, and I still have so much left. I've used this for my shifty sweater and now for the shift, and I still have 90 grams of this and 80 grams of this left, so I have to find another project to use it for. So if you have any suggestions, because yeah, it needs to shine in another project. But here is my shift cowl. Yes. I also used Drops Flora in the color medium gray, number 4, I believe. Yes. I used needles 3.5mm, US 2.5. It weighs 171 grams. And this was also so much fun to knit. It's mosaic knitting, I believe it's called, and you only use one color at a time. And I like that you change between the colors, so all the colors get to shine. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, I think. And it was so quick to knit. I was so surprised when I suddenly was done with it because I just didn't expect it to go by so fast. Since the Drops Flora is thinner than the hand-spun yarn, it didn't really quite match up, so I should probably use a thicker yarn together with the hand spun, but oh well, I didn't. I used what I had. So even though it's the same amount of stitches in the back, you can see that one side is longer than the other. So if you see here, there, that is longer than the other side. So you are supposed to sew these two parts together, and I did, but but one side is longer, and I don't mind. It's going back in the neck, so no one will notice that. I think it's really nice and beautiful, but I don't think I'm a cowl girl. I'm not a cowl girl. I don't. You know, Andrea Mowry, she looks so wonderful with her shift on. But I just don't. I don't feel so great with this on. I don't know. Maybe I just have to wear it a couple of times and see if I like it when I wear it. I only had it on for a couple of minutes trying it on. But I want something closer to the neck, and this is not very close to the neck. It's very slouchy. I don't know if you can say that about a cowl, but I can of course fold it down like this and have it on, but I don't know. I don't look too good with it on. I don't know. It's probably just me. But I think it looks very nice, and I absolutely could see myself knitting this for gifts, for example. It was a lot of fun to knit and was really fast. So highly recommend that pattern if you're looking for a cowl that is fun and fast to knit. Yes, that was that. And then I've been knitting socks, because I think I said that last time, that I have a goal this year to always have socks on my needles, and so far so good. These are the DK Weight Vanilla Socks by the Crazy Sock Lady. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's my go-to vanilla sock pattern. And these are knitted in Järbo, what's it called again? Järbo Merino Raggi, and on the heel I have used Mrs. Fox Merino Single. That is not a sock yarn, but I hold it together with Drops Fabel in the color 107 blue, which is a sock yarn, so I think that it will be okay, even though the merino single isn't with any nylon in it. Yes, just nothing special to say about them. I knitted the medium size. I knitted with 3.5mm needles US 4. They weigh 70.3 grams. They are for my 15-year-old son, because he got some socks for Christmas, which he has used every night and every day, all the time. So they don't look so good anymore. So he needs more socks to have some to change between. And this was also fun because the yarn is color changing and it makes it interesting. Yes, so that is my vanilla socks, and when I was done with those, I cast on another pair right away. And here is the Biscuit socks by Fluffy Fibers. That is also a free pattern on Ravelry. Here you can see them. These are for me, I think. At least they are my size. It's the size number 1 on 3,5mm needles, US 4. They are knitted in Järbo Mellanraggi, number 28422, which was also a very fun yarn. It's gray, but it has a lot of speckles of different colors in it. And it's with the Eye of Partridge heel, which I think is so beautiful. I really like that heel. Yeah, and it has this easy structure on the whole sock. Just stockinette underneath, of course, but on the rest of the sock. They weigh 80 grams, and I can highly recommend the Biscuit socks pattern. It's very easy, very nice, engaging. Yeah. My last effort today is this beautiful blanket behind me. It's the Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose. And I feel like everyone is knitting this. I've seen it on so many podcasts, and I see it on Instagram all the time, and I understand why. It's so fun to knit. It's really engaging. It's easy, and you knit a square in a little bit over an hour. And yeah, you can have fun with colors. I really enjoy this knit, and I could absolutely see myself knitting more of the Sweet Shop blanket. I will put up a picture for you so you can see the whole blanket, because it's a bit too big for me to show you here. I've knitted this with my advent from last year, which was Mrs. Fox yarn, the Advent Call Magic, which had all of these beautiful colors. And together with the Drops Fabel, yes, Drops Fabel, in the color Off-White, number 100, and I hold 2 strands of fingering together. So out of 1 mini from the Advent, which was 20 grams, I got 2 squares in my blanket. So I started 1st of December and knitted 1 square every day through December, and I finished it on the 16th of February. Then I decided I was done with it. It was big enough, and I have knitted 70 squares. So my blanket is 10, how do you say that in English? I'm not sure. It's 10 squares in the upwards. I know this is not the correct way to say it, but I can't find the word. And then you have 7 squares this way. I think, if I'm wrong, I will correct myself. Anyway, I know it's 70 squares I have knitted. So not every day since the 1st of December, but almost every day I have knitted a square. And as I said, I could absolutely see myself knitting more of these, because it's a great gift if you have the patience to knit blankets for gifts. Great. You can make a baby blanket too, of course. And yeah, it's just perfect for scraps and everything. And I, of course, didn't have enough from my Advent to knit 70 squares, so I used some of my scraps from hand-dyed sock yarn. But I was so lucky that I got a gift in the mail with someone else's fingering scraps, which I was so happy to get. So I have used all of those scraps in this blanket, so that makes it extra special too. So I'm very thankful for the scraps I got in the mail. Yeah. It weighs 1,120 grams, so yeah, it's a heavy blanket, but it will be very cozy to have. Maybe, I'm not sure I can allow anyone to use it. I think it's too nice. Just have to be like for decoration. Anyway, had a lot of fun. Highly recommend it if you're into blanket knitting. And it can be a long-term project, like a square a day or a square every Sunday or whatever. It's time to see what I have on my needles. I have a few things. We can start with my dress that I am still knitting on. It will be a long-term project, I think. It takes a while, but it's the Mamba dress by Ulen Knitwear. And I am knitting this dress in Drops Lima 9010 light gray. Yes, and this is a blend of wool and alpaca. And this is how far I have come. Let me try and show you. Since the last episode, I have knitted from this little box here. And all the way up here. So I've been trying to knit a chart a day, but I haven't done it every day, but a lot of days. But it's just a couple of centimeters at the time, so it doesn't go by really fast, but I am quite far now, and I'm getting closer to where I'm going to knit the body, but still a few centimeters to go. I want a mid-length dress. You can make a maxi one, a mid-length, or a short one, but I'm going for the in-between size, or in-between length. Yes, I'm knitting on 3.5 and 4 millimeter needles, US 4 and 6. And it is quite fun with this cable. Yes, so it is engaging, but slow going. So that is why I try to do a chart today, or every other day at least, to not get tired of it, because I think I could get tired of this if I knit on it too much. But I don't think this will be done for this winter, because it's going to be so warm that it is a winter dress. I'm knitting the size small because I am a loose knitter, so I should of course knit a size bigger for me, but because I'm a loose knitter, I don't get gauge, so I have to go down on the size. And still I'm afraid this will be too big, but I have no size smaller to knit, and I don't want to go down needle size either, because I don't like the fabric it gives, and it's tough on my hands to have smaller needles, and will take even longer time. And of course, Drops Lima is not the recommended yarn. The recommended yarn is something from Isager, and I think it's a fingering together with a lace. So of course that will change the gauge as well. So we'll see. I will knit this dress, and if it's not fitting me, I can give it away, or I can try to sell it, and I will knit it and try to knit it again with the fingering and the lace. I was just being cheap because I didn't want to use that much money on yarn. So I went for the more affordable option, and I thought that it would be okay because Stroppslima is a DK and lace and fingering, maybe it's more like a sport, I don't know, but yeah, I would probably not get gauge with lace and fingering either, but maybe closer, I don't know. I will knit this and I will see if it will be for me or for someone else, but I still enjoy knitting on this, just in bits, not big chunks, but a little chunk here and there, and it will be done when it's done. In my plans last time I told you I had some drops flora left over from other projects, and I had a couple of balls of the misty green color and 3 or 4 balls of the white. So these 2 colors I had. This is number 2 and this is 23. So I wasn't sure if I could get a sweater out of this, or maybe just a t-shirt, but I wanted to give it a go. So I found the Flax light pattern, which is free on Ravelry, and it's from Tin Can Knits. They also have a DK version. I think they even have a thicker version as well, which is free, which is amazing. And it's so many sizes. It's from baby, I think, and all the way up to men's sizes, women and men's sizes, which is wonderful. The Tin Can Knits, the Flax sweater has garter stitch on the sleeves. I didn't want to have that, so I have just knitted stockinette, and I also changed the raglan part, so I have 4 stitches in between the increases, so I get this thick line in between the increases. And here is my sweater so far. I'm knitting the size small on. No? Yes, I am, but I'm knitting the size 10 in the pattern because it goes from baby and up. So the size 10, but it's about a small medium size. And I'm knitting on US 1.5, no, that can't be right. I'm knitting on 2.5 and 3.5 millimeter needles. I have written down US 1.5 and US 4. Maybe that's correct, because again, I don't understand the US sizes. They don't make sense to me. But at least 2.5 and 3.5 millimeter needles, which is what I am knitting this on. I am doing twisted stitches or not. Yeah, twisted ribbing. And I think maybe it's a bit short, but I didn't take the chance to knit more on the body right now. I've just done I've just bound off in pattern, so it's easy to rip it back if I want to knit more on the body. But now I want to knit the arms and see if I can get long arms with the remaining yarn. This was so I'm amazed about how much I got out of the yarn. I still have a whole ball left of the white, and now I've just divided it into two, what I had left of this ball, just to know that I have equal amounts for both arms. And I still have this, and I have all of this left of the green, so hopefully I will get long arms on this, but we'll see. And if I have any white left, I will just make the hem a bit longer. It is a bit big on me. I have a lot of positive ease, so it would be nice to have a bit of a longer ribbing. And I didn't do the short rows. You have an option for short rows, and I didn't do that because I was afraid that it would take too much of my yarn. But I would have preferred short rows. It does, for me, it does matter to have short rows in the neck or in the back, to make it longer in the back and make it go down a bit in the front. But it's okay. My main thing now was, my main goal was to use up leftover yarn, and if I can get a whole sweater out of it, that's amazing. And if it's not for me, it's for someone else. But it would be nice to have it because it is very light, airy and thin, and that's perfect for spring and even for summer here in Norway, because in the evenings it can be cold. It can be 18 degrees Celsius. So then it's nice to have a light and not too warm sweater to use. So we'll see. I think it will be nice. I like how it looks. So yeah, that's my Flax sweater. So I'm excited to see how long I can make the arms, and hopefully there will be something left for the hem of the body. I have some socks on my needles. I'm feeling very accomplished because just to have socks on the needles all the time. So if I'm good this year, I just cast on another pair of socks as soon as I'm done with a pair. And yesterday what's the word? I cleaned my closet. No, that's not right. Tied it up in my wardrobe. I went through all my knitted things. I have a lot. I have a lot of sweaters. I have a lot of tops and tees and tanks, and yeah. I've knitted for 5 years now, and it's a lot. And so I took out everything, looked at it with a tough hand, we say in Norway, and I just took away all the things that I hardly ever wear. And I have a plan to invite some friends over and let them take whatever they want. Hopefully they want something. And yeah, I have tried to sell things, but it's not easy to sell knitted things here in Norway. I don't know why. Probably because you can go on H&M or something like that and buy knitted sweaters for hardly anything. So, and of course I can't take hardly anything for things I have knitted, used a lot of time on. And also yarn is expensive. So it's more expensive to buy yarn and knit a sweater like this sweater here. It's expensive if you count in all the hours it takes to knit and the yarn. So yeah, anyway, so since I can't sell them, or I don't get anyone to buy it, then I want to give them to my friends because they are worth it. All right, that was long. I don't even know where I started. I'm sorry. But I tidied my wardrobe, and I don't really need any more garments, although I love to knit them. And of course I'm knitting on sweaters. I won't stop doing that because that's so much fun. But if I knit socks as well and other stuff in between, then I won't knit like 20 sweaters each year, because that's what I do. I have so much knitting time. And I'm not complaining. Yes. Socks. That's what we are talking about. Warm socks, I've called these, because this is a sock yarn that I saw my local, one of my local yarn stores showed on Instagram, and I thought they looked so much fun with all these different things happening. It's so much fun with all those patterns in this and colors, and all you have to do is knit stockinette and ta-da! It looks like you have used several colors in there, but I haven't, because the yarn looks like this. And it's from Dale, and it's called Varm sock yarn. Oh, come on, focus please. And it's 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon. And inside the ball band, it is a pattern. So I wanted to make socks for my husband, so I just chose the size for him in here. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different sizes in here, which is wonderful. So I cast on the amount of stitches for my husband's size, which is 43 in the EU sizing, I think. I don't know what that is in the US, but 43. And that's about it for what I use this, because the rest I just did like I normally do. So I did the amount of ribbing as they said, and the heel was only in stockinette, and I feel like that is not very sturdy. So I did reinforced heel, where you knit the stitch and you take off a stitch. Isn't that what it's called? Yeah, you knit one, slip one, knit one, slip one. So I feel that's more sturdy, I don't know, than a stockinette heel. And then I just knit. I have this sock ruler, which is a wonderful tool when you are knitting socks, because I can just put it in and I can see where I need to stop and start on the toe for sizes all the way from 34 until 48. So that is a handy tool. And I just did the toe that I usually do, where you decrease on all the sides with the stitch in between. I don't know if that makes sense. And then I am used to do the Kitchener stitch on the end of the toe. That's what I usually do, but on many patterns I have lately. I have discovered that a lot of people take the thread through the last stitches on the toe and just pull it. So that is what is done here. I'm not sure that that is what I prefer. I think maybe I like the Kitchener stitch more. I'm not sure, but that's what I've done on this anyway. Yeah. So I have started on the second sock. I have. So I just have to cast it on straight away after I'm done with the first one. Knitting on 2.25mm Chaigu needles, and 2.25 is US 1. So I really like Chaigu needles. They are great to knit with. But my, like the red lace is not supposed to have any memory. But look at my needle. Like this. It's so annoying. And normally the red lace is not doing that. But I don't know what's happened with mine. So it's really annoying. I can try and take it under some warm water and see if I can get it to back to its real shape, but I don't know. I need to get another one. At least now that I'm going to knit so many socks, I want a longer cord to knit 2 at a time. That's what I did with these, by the way. I knit 2 at a time. And I really like that, but I didn't do it this time. Okay, enough talk about socks and tidying wardrobe and too much knitting, and let's go to my last whip. This was a cast on that I just suddenly got the urge to do. I have it on my plans for this year, but I wasn't planning to do it now. But I just I craved some more colorwork knitting, and I was planning to cast on the Eva cardigan by Petite Knit, and I want to do that soon, but this just had to come first. So I have it in this beautiful retro bag that a Norwegian podcaster has made, because it's too small now, but it just fits so nicely with my cast on, which is here. So you can see it really matches, which is really important. It's fun. So I cast on the Autumn Alpine by Caitlin Hunter. I believe she's called Boyle and Knitworks on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm knitting this in some new to me yarn that I won. I was on a podcast meetup last fall, and I won this in raffle, I think you call it. And it's Villa Sillat in brown and in white, and I never used this before. It is this is color 268, and the white is 201. The ball band is going off. And this is 100% wool yarn, pure wool yarn, 100 grams, 350 meters. So it's a few. I have a little bit of yarn in these 2 balls, but that is also all I have, and it's different colors. So I was thinking about what I could use this for. It's like, it reminds me of Rauma Finull, which is Norwegian wool. It has the same feel to it, and it feels the same when I knit with it too. So I really like it because Rauma Finull is one of my favorite yarns. Maybe Per Gynt is competing on going on the first place of my favorite yarns. But I was thinking, what can I do with this? And I have this other yarn, beautiful yarn from Fjord Fibers. She's a Norwegian hand dyer. She's not from Norway, but she is living in Norway and she dyes yarn. I can't remember where she's from. Is she from England or from the States? I'm not sure. But this is beautiful. It's called Autumn in the Air. So it was perfect for the autumn alpine sweater. And this sock yarn is called Trollfjord sock, and I have the ball down here, and this is 80% wool and 20% polyester, also 350 meters on 100 grams, so it's perfect together with this. And now I will show you the beautiful sweater. Oh, I think it looks so good. Here it is. Oh. You know, with all these cords and everything, it really is not easy to show. And I couldn't put this down. I just had to knit this color work, and so it's almost all I knitted on for a few days because this was just so much fun. And I think the hand-dyed yarn is just so beautiful together with the brown. I am knitting the size 2 on 3 and 3.5 millimeter needles, US 2.5 and 4. The biggest needle I used on the color work again because I am a loose, yes, I am a loose knitter, but I knit more tight when I knit color work. So then I always go up half a size just to try and make it more even and not so tight. And I think I did a good job. And it's no really long floats. It's a few places. Yeah, where the brown here. You can see it's a bit, I think maybe 7-8 stitches is the most. So I catch the float then because I feel like that's the easiest way not to tighten it too much. When it's long floats, I'm afraid that I will just tighten it a bit too much. So these are my floats. I think it looks okay. So I'm really happy with this. I'm not sure if it will be a long sleeve or short sleeve. I just have to see how much yarn I have left, but I still have a lot of yarn. But I'm just under the bust now for the body, so we'll see. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do it here. I need to stripe it because I only have one ball of white and one ball of brown. So I started with the white after the color work, and now I'm going in with the brown. I'm not sure if I'm going to have equally big stripes or if I'm going to have the white stripe this big every time and just change the brown stripes. Start with small stripes and then make them bigger. I don't know. What do you think? What will be nicest? And should I use these also for stripes, or should I not do that? Just have it in the color work. It is also in the color, and I believe it will be in the hem as well. But it's not so easy to see because I use it with the white, since it is a lot of white in this. I love this. I really love this sweater, but I don't like the color. I feel it's too poofy. It looks like what's the word? I will write it on the screen if I find it. It's such a big color. Maybe it's just called color, but you know, it's not very sleek. It stands out too much, and I was thinking that when I started this, that I didn't really like the color, but I just thought that it's probably going to look better with this than with the normal ribbed color. So I did it, and now I regret it. Maybe it will look better when it's washed, and maybe it will like lie down a bit nicer and not be so poofy. I don't know, but I don't know. I can of course put in a needle and cut it off and knit a ribbed color instead, but I don't have a lot of yarn, so we'll see. I think I probably just will keep this color as is and live with it, because the rest is so beautiful, and hopefully it will look okay with the striped body. Hopefully it won't look strange. Yes, but anyway, I have had so much fun knitting this beautiful color work, and I definitely want to knit more color work with hand-dyed yarn. I haven't bought or acquired any yarn since last episode. I've just found a lot of Yarnjoy in my stash, and that is so much fun. Really enjoy that, and try to put things together, use scraps, use different yarns and put together like I've done in the autumn alpine sweater. That is just so much fun. So I am thinking I won't buy any yarn because I'm going to a couple of fun events this spring, so saving my money to those events, because I know there will be a lot of beautiful hand dyers there, bag makers, stitch marker makers, yeah, so I think I want to save up for that. And yeah, I'm going to Stavanger in March for the Southwest Yarn Fest. I think it will be my third time on that festival, and it's always so good. There's so many beautiful people there. There are a lot of beautiful events and beautiful hand dyers, as I said, and yeah, I'm going together with a friend, and it's gonna be a great weekend in Stavanger, which is also a beautiful city. So that I am looking forward to. And in beginning of June, I'm going to Bergen, which I am so excited for. I'm going to meet a lot of great people there at Strikkekraft, which is on Osterøy, which is I think it's an island just outside of Bergen. And I'm going to stay with a podcaster colleague. She has invited me and some other podcasters to stay with her for a few days. And yeah, I'm so excited. I think we will go to the Hillesvåg mill Yeah, so I have to save to buy some Hillesvåg yarn. So excited for that. And yeah, I lived in Bergen when I was 17. I lived there for almost a year, and it's such a beautiful city. So I hope I get to see a little bit of the city too while I'm there, hopefully, and just think back on the time that I lived there. So yeah, a lot of fun to look forward to this spring. Yeah, that is it, I think. My plan is still to cast on the Eva cardigan, but you never know. My plans change all the time, so don't hold me to it. But I really want to start that cardigan, and I need some more cardigans. I don't have so many jackets and cardigans that I've knitted, so I want to make more cardigans this year. Yeah. So we'll see how that turns out. Okay, there's one more thing I want to ask you before I leave you, and that is I have been thinking about making a little knit and chat about my knitting journey. Yeah, so I was just thinking, is that something you would be interested in watching, or would that be just boring? Listening to me talk about yeah, my way into knitting and how knitting has become such a big part, an important part of my life. Would that be of any interest to you? So I would love to hear what you think in the comments. Okay, guys, I will try to stop rambling and just say thank you so much for sticking with me. If you're still here, I love to talk to you every other week about all my knitting and my yarny adventures. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all your wonderful comments and for your thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed already, I would love for you to do so. If you like the content here, that's a great way to support my channel and helps me to reach more people with my love for knitting and get to know more people. Yeah, I feel like I know you talking to you in the comments, and I really appreciate all of you being here. And now I will say goodbye. Thank you again, and I hope that you have a good few days until I see you again. Happy knitting, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild.